Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we've got one that apparently I'm not familiar with this lady's content or anything like that, but this seems to be a sarcastic response to men who have been telling her that she has an accountability in the destruction of her marriage. Her husband apparently divorced her at some point. Again, I'm not familiar with her. I don't know her background. I just found this video to be interesting to illustrate a different point here and not necessarily focus on her specifically, but I'm going to let it play and then we're going to discuss.
Men are constantly telling me that I need to take accountability for my actions and my role and why my marriage ended. And I used to keep telling them, like, I never did anything to specifically make my ex say, I want to divorce you. I never did. I can honestly say that. But you guys are right. I do need to take accountability. And so I've been thinking really hard about where I messed up. And I think the issue is when I got married, I married for love. I was excited about our future and our family and like being together with this person, building and growing in life together. And my mistake was that I should have got married for money, you know, and now I know that I've learned from my mistakes and I won't let it happen again. Men are constantly.
So just even without the context of the rest of her content, this seemed to be a tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic response to men in the comment section, I guess somewhere, saying that she has an accountability. And whether it was sarcastic or not, even if we don't focus on this specific woman, the concept or the idea that she expressed is exactly what women do. And this is exactly why men are saying accountability is kryptonite for a lot of women, because when you have two people who are married, unless the one person does something that is so egregious that it really does just break that marriage and break the trust and break the marriage, unless if it has been like sort of a long suffering or a deterioration of the marriage deteriorated over a course of years. There has been, incidents that have culminated in feelings of mistrust or feelings of not being secure with your husband or wife, things that work to undermine the foundation of a marriage. And a lot of times those things like that they appear to be small if you break it up into small pieces. If you break it up into the individual incident, it doesn't seem like a big deal, which is why it's so insidious, which is why couples need not do things to each other that steadily crack the foundation of a marriage, because you can do that over a period of time. It doesn't have to be one big thing that happened and then, you know what I'm saying, the marriage just didn't recover from that. The more dangerous break in a marriage that makes it truly irreparable and irretrievable is when the two people do things to one another, whether it's conscious or not, whether it's malicious or not, that tear them apart. And they may not even understand the effect of the things that they do or the real problem with what they're doing. And I'm saying all that because women tend to think, and she said, I never did anything that made my husband say he wanted to divorce me. Women tend to think that if I didn't do anything and on the spot, I knew my husband told me that he was done with me, or on the spot, I knew that the marriage was over because he was angry and because da 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 da. Like, if they can't pinpoint the specific thing that would make a man say, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger on this. I'm going to invoke the divorce because it's just ain't no way. I can't do it anymore. I refuse to do it. And so therefore this is done, or whatever. If women can't pinpoint that moment, if they can't pinpoint that action, if they can't pinpoint like a specific action of theirs in a specific moment of time that would lead directly to a man leaving them, then they feel like they didn't do nothing. And that's the most dangerous part, actually. They feel like they didn't do anything. They feel like that one time they argued at him shouldn't be a big deal. And that other time that they emasculated him, that shouldn't be a big deal. And the other time where she broke trust with him, it shouldn't be a big deal because they stayed after that. Like the marriage didn't immediately dissolve right after. So therefore the action must have been acceptable. Therefore the action or whatever was said or whatever was done must have some type of acceptability to it because he didn't leave out of the door immediately. Men rarely do that. Men rarely leave out of the door immediate. But they file things away just like women do. Women file stuff away too. This is why it was such a joke. The last video I did with the woman talking about women are long marriages mean that the women are putting up with stuff as if the men don't. The men file away those times that you wanted to emasculate him for no reason. Like he's filed that away. He's filed away that every time this happens, your response is like that, and he hates that response because that response indicates to him this thing or that thing. Like, and he's maybe talked to you about it, maybe he addressed it, maybe he brought it to your attention. You didn't take accountability for that. You felt like it wasn't a big deal. He was being a baby. He was making a mountain out of a molehill, and it was, he should just get over it and things of that nature. But it really affected him. It really, really affected him. And he's tried to tell you how it has affected him, in what way you are doing things and you don't see it, or you refuse to see it. You as the woman refuse to see how your actions are negatively affecting and impacting him and thus your marriage, because you think all the things that you do are no big deal. You think it's nothing. You think, you know what I'm saying, the toxicity that you display, or the apathy. Sometimes it's apathy. Sometimes it's you're the emotionally unavailable one. Sometimes you're the one, women don't know simple stuff like withholding sex for an inordinate amount of time with your husband, for no reason. Nothing wrong with you. You're not sick. You're not incapacitated. There's nothing wrong with your body. There's nothing wrong with you mentally. Like, you're not in a mental institution where you can't function. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. You going about your day normal, right? You go about everything else normal. And it's been 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you ain't had no type of regular sex with your husband. Y'all realize, and y'all know that breaks the marriage. It breaks it because you're denying the right. You have a right to him sexually as much as he has a right to you sexually. Right? And y'all will go into this mode where you don't want to give your husband no sex on no regular basis. And then you'll be thinking, he should just deal with it. He should just deal with it. He should just, and not stray off, not try to get attention elsewhere or anything like that. Right? And y'all be, if somebody were to ask you, put you on Front Street about it, you would be like, oh, it's not a big deal. And then you would make excuses as to why, you know what I'm saying, you're behaving in that manner. Well, and it'll be all his fault. It'll be him, you know, he's doing this, he's doing that to you, or he's not doing this and not doing that. So therefore you're not in the mood. So you don't feel like you owe him. And it don't even have to be that egregious or that obvious. It's more so about the not so obvious things. And really, a lot of the times, y'all be knowing that y'all are picking. Y'all just don't realize that the man is going to eventually get tired and just leave. That's the part that you don't count on. You count on him just putting up with it. And he love you so much that he not going to leave. That's what you counting on. But a lot of the times, y'all know that y'all pick. Y'all pick arguments. You pick. You pick with your husbands. You're rude to them. You're mean to them. You're crass with them. You ignore them when he's talking to you. Snappy when he says something to you. You get snippy, you know, all this sort of thing. All of that. And y'all don't think that wears down marriages, and it do. It absolutely does. It just takes a long time. It just takes time. A water will wear away a rock over time. Over time. Water will cut a rock. It will cut it. What do you think the Grand Canyon is? The Grand Canyon is there as a testament and a monument to the power of water over time. It wouldn't even be there if the rivers hadn't continued to flow and cut through the earth. Probably for thousands of years it's been doing that. But the earth is cut, is it not? The canyon is there, is it not? A whole cleft in the earth, excuse me, that they say you can see from space. Okay. So she doesn't want to take any accountability. And a lot of women avoid accountability for this reason. This is how y'all try to avoid it, because you can't, it's not the one big incident. It's all the little incidents though. It's all the times that you did all these little things, and it works on him and it works on the marriage negatively. And then she talking about she should have married for money, girl. Yeah, I guess she being is like LBVS. You know what I mean? Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonite.